All right, we're up and running.
Lovely. Okay, so we've had a change of heart already.
I know, we're very fickle like that.
Fickle as thieves. We are going to we're going to, just for the sake of getting So Help Me Finish, plough through them, aren't we? And then if there's time, because you're going away at the end of the month, aren't you, to
prison.
Keep that location secret. Okay, well, you've told everyone now.
Yeah.
For pirating So Haunt Me.
Yeah, that's right.
But yeah, so we're going to just plough through these. And if there's time at the end of the month, maybe we'll watch Next of Kin, or maybe The Waltons, or maybe... Do you know, I was remembering Prince Among Men.
Ooh,
Did you ever see that? That was the chap who played, is it Lister in Red Dwarf?
Yeah.
What's his name?
Craig
What's
Charles.
his name? No. Sorry, the sort of the one who was a bit of a star. Mr. British Empire.
Chris Barry.
What was his Chris Barry.
That's so funny. He came up yesterday. No, the British Empire came up yesterday. I was explaining why I'd never got into Alan Partridge to somebody who is really into Alan Partridge. And I said that I kind of basically got Britas and Alan Partridge kind of foggy in my brain because I was like 8 years old.
Right, yeah.
And I thought it was going to be that kind of sort of slapstick style of the British Empire, which I really liked because I really liked Chris Barry. But I didn't want to extend it to Alan Partridge for some reason.
Was unwilling to pass the baton. That was a huge show, British Empire, wasn't it? Genuinely massive.
Yeah, we watched it every time it was on.
Almost never gets repeated or mentioned or whatever.
No, what happened?
Anyway, who knows? Anyway, well, I can tell you that Chris Barry's next sitcom was called Prince Among Men. The character was probably called Mark Prince, but he was a retired Scouse footballer.
Right.
He was living a little bit like The Upper Hand.
I could see where you got the confusion between Lister and Rimmer in that case, with Lister being a Scouser.
Oh, yeah.
Does he play? Does he do a Scouse accent, or does he just play for Liverpool?
Does.
Oh, right, okay.
No, he does. That's all I remember. I remember the theme tune as well.
Whoa! That's all I remember. Here's the theme tune.
Yeah, he's a winner. He's a star. He's a prince among men. Why is that in my head? I don't think it just. I think it got 2 series as well.
Did
Incredible.
It?
Yeah.
Well, maybe I'll check it out.
That's stunning, isn't it? Yeah. Well, maybe we should check it out at some point.
Yeah, maybe on camera whilst recording.
I think it's awful.
Yeah. Well, great. Then it will give us something to talk about them. As we just discussed, we're probably not going to do any sitcoms that are too good because we'll just be sat in silence watching television together while recording. Although I'm sure some people do that as a podcast.
That's basically Gogglebox, isn't it?
No, Gogglebox is hilarious. They all say really funny things.
Never watched it.
It's great. It's good fun. Good thing about Gogglebox, which more people probably know this than I realised, but it was actually Caroline Ahern's idea because of the royal family, because they basically sit around sort of talking about television, and she was like, we should just make a show where multiple different families sit around talking about the television that they've been watching that week, or while they've been watching it.
I absolutely love Caroline Ahern. Like, I genuinely love her. Everything about her. I thought
National
she was
treasure.
so cool. And Mrs. Merton was brilliant. Mrs. Merton and Malcolm was really good. The Royal Family first series in particular is immaculate. Hated her voiceover on Gogglebox. When the little moments I watched it, she spoke too much like a baby.
Yeah, it was
really annoyed me. So that's why I never watched it.
Since she very sadly left us, there's been a bloke doing it. He's got the same kind of accent that she's got, but also does it in that lilting kind of like.
Well, it's Craig Cash, isn't it?
Yeah, who is that? Is that a person I should recognise?
Well, he's from the Royal Family.
Is he?
Yeah.
Which one's he in the Royal Family?
He's her partner, Dave.
Oh, of course it is.
And sort of working partner.
I've never made that connection.
He was also Malcolm in Mrs. Merton and Malcolm.
Yeah. Well, I know. Now you've put a face to the voice, and it all makes perfect sense. But yeah, he does a very like.
Hello.
And in Manchester.
Yeah, I can't do it.
There, everyone's right normal. God, I look terrifying.
Yeah, anyway. It drives a stake through my heart, that way of speaking.
I think it's
like a Sunday school teacher reading a story from the Bible.
I think it's a sort of a parody of what sort of gentle, what Southern people think about gentle Northerners. I think it's kind of playing into that a bit, but to the point where it's basically baby talk.
It's like they're reading a poem on an advert for vinegar.
Yeah. Well, I mean, famously, the dad from the royal family does that poetry for McCain Chips rubbish, doesn't he?
Yeah. What was that phase of Northerners doing poems for advert?
I think the Hovis advert started it.
Oh, yeah. Was that a poem?
I don't know if it was quite a poem, but it was a poetic
It was certainly poetic.
memory. Yeah. Well, they played New World Symphony, which is a song about America, to talk about the north of Britain. But yeah. Good rundown. Should we crack on?
We haven't got time, have we?
No, we've run out of time. Yeah, that's our hour.
Yeah, let's go for it.
Okay.
No one's watching this, are they?
Absolutely no one. Not even us.
I don't mean So Haunt Me. I mean the whole thing.
Absolutely.
No one is.
No, I mean...
They've switched off already.
Yeah. All right. Well, with that enthusiasm in mind, EP3.
Yeah.
Are you sure she's not here in the room? Watching?
Pete, she promised she'd stay out. Now, where were we?
I was nibbling your earlobe.
Oh, yeah.
Where were we?
Having sex. Where were we in the process?
Can ghosts see through walls?
Oh, Pete. Who's she going to tell?
I knew that's what she meant. I just thought that was going to be quite a graphic thing set up for a line. Where were we? Well, you just had your finger.
Yeah. Well, he says I was nibbling your ear. Which, if it's that forgettable, just skip that bit. That's fine.
I've already forgotten. Is it Paula or Paul A?
It's Paul A.
Yeah.
Do we think Miriam is the ghost?
Yeah, got to be. It can't be the teenage girl, can it?
Unlikely. Ooh, packed lunches. Got very excited. Look at the size of that box.
Yeah.
Here to King Kong's jockstrap.
Your daughter's ashamed of you, Sally.
No, she's not. No, she's not what, Mum? I was talking to... Nothing. Nothing. No wonder why I don't bring friends back.
Don't they know about it?
That's it.
Yeah, has it suddenly become a secret?
No one's blaming you.
No, don't blame me. I didn't sack my father. Better find some work soon and get us out of here.
Tammy, Mrs. Feldman.
Get us out of this massive house.
Yeah, it's a huge house.
Okay. If you want to believe there's a ghost, that's fine.
Didn't put that lid on proproperly. That's going to go everywhere.
Chaos.
That's the kind of thing in TV shows that I really notice. Is like something that...
Ah!
Why can't she see?
Did you hear it?
I did!
Can't see or hear her parents. Why should she bother with
For those of you that would never watch this and aren't watching and no one's listening to me say this, in episode 1, which no one saw, they said they'll do a don't slam the door joke. And it actually happened.
That's incredible. Absolutely 100 stars to you, my friend.
Thank you.
Morning, David.
Sorry, and you were saying something really interesting then about packed lunches.
Hello,
Well,
But noticing
just
stuff.
noticing things that are done for... Because it would be ridiculous to sit there and be like shutting that Tupperware, all the little bits that you need to shut it. So obviously you just put it in the bag. But I always notice things like that. I'm like, oh, that apple's gone flying. Sandwiches everywhere.
Use it from Jim. You could break an arm.
I always
or a
think
leg,
about
or even
like
worse.
switches that are left on with nothing in them. You know, like a plug socket hasn't got a plug in it, but it's flicked on. I noticed that
Oh,
kind of
really?
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you always turn them off when you see them in like out in public?
In real life,
Yeah.
in the wild.
Not
yeah.
in sitcoms because you can't actually penetrate the screen and turn off the button.
My
Not for want of trying.
No, because you're not the ghost. Miriam's the ghost. Look at that tiny cereal bowl.
Look at his tiny shirt. I think I once camped under that. He's for someone who doesn't see a ghost. Oh no, he does see it now, doesn't
Yeah,
he?
he does.
I was going to say he treats it with a lot of sort of gives her plenty of space.
Protestant work ethic.
Pete's very northern. He's from Manchester.
You must know Sylvia Fishbein. She married a goldfarb from Manchester.
Mrs. Feldman, there are over 1 million people in Greater Manchester.
Am I asking him about 1 million?
I once really embarrassed myself at a party when I was about 19. I was in London and I said to a girl there, I said, "Oh, my mate goes to uni here." I'd said nothing else to say, and she said, "Yeah, well, London's a big place." And I was thinking, well, I wasn't assuming you would know him,
No.
but it's just like that kind of was what I was getting at the same time.
Yeah.
I was trying to find a common ground.
Well, there's also about 25 universities in London.
Yeah.
So
But, it was
that's,
just
you need to be
one
more
of those
specific.
things that embarrasses me down the ears.
Yeah. Oh.
That and getting caught wiping a toilet seat which I thought was a good thing to do. But when I got caught doing it, it wasn't my own wee. It was before I used it.
Yeah.
I was at a house party and I thought I need to wipe that down before I go anywhere near it.
Fair.
And somebody walked in and I just went red. I thought, no, the joke's on the person who left this mess.
So there was piss on the seat.
Yeah,
Right.
Morning, Andrew.
urine, let's call it.
Sorry. Yes, we'll add that out.
My mum's getting a new master.
Have a good day, Davy.
The good thing with this is you don't have to pay any attention to
No.
it.
None.
Ghost.
Well, now the secret that they've got a ghost, are they going to keep it in public?
That most people wouldn't believe anyway.
Well, yeah. But do they want to not appear crazy? That would be a good...
Oh, yeah. So I'm sure
shout.
this room was decorated last time.
Nope.
Your husband's scared of heights?
I'm pleased that that isn't getting a laugh.
Well, that
Just
she
her
just
walking through a-
yeah.
yeah.
Well, the audience probably didn't see it because they can't see special effects live.
But
Just to
I-
ruin that.
I don't think there's an audience there.
No, that's right. You're
So I'm
very
surprised to-
sceptical, not of the ghost, but of the audience.
That's more believable. The ghost is more believable than the fact that there's an audience laughing at it.
Yeah.
I'm getting used to your little ways.
But it's surprising a producer or whoever didn't press laugh when she walked through the door. You think of Bewitched, every time she did a magic trick, clicked her fingers
Yeah.
and like a glass appeared, it would get a laugh. It's
Yeah.
like, it's not funny anymore. It never was.
Yeah. Just the surprise was enough to elicit canned laughter.
She hasn't been a ghost for long, and sometimes she gets a bit nervous of strangers. Did you know, Sally, you come back to Earth at your ideal body weight?
Riveting.
Ah, you're scraping at it. You know, Sally, I think it's time I told you about my sad but rich life.
Again?
I didn't have an easy birth.
She looks
Was
blonde,
anything
the
easy in
the
those
ghost
days?
does, Mrs.
World
Feldman.
War
She
One.
looks blonder this
We didn't
episode.
call it World War One, and then...
They did some audience feedback, I reckon.
Yeah.
Oy, he had
Did you make the ghost a little bit blonder?
Yeah.
Cough,
Or like
cough,
greener as it
cough.
actually looks in this resolution.
It's a conspiracy.
I got my first job from Chris Longford. A radio campaign for Sandy's shoe stores. His regular writer took drunk.
Oh, Pete, see, he told you.
Is regular right or what?
I don't know.
Sorry, 10 minutes away.
Took
drunk.
Yeah, that's what it sounded like.
It's all starting. It's exciting, isn't it?
Yeah. And if I crack it quick, do I get a reward?
The man's obsessed.
The writer's obsessed.
No, the Dead Poets Society. What are you doing here?
Mrs.
How
Feldman.
did he not notice her?
You
This
want
is
me to
optional,
disappear
like when
in
he
the middle of
sees
my
her or not.
story?
Yeah.
I'm going.
Where did she
Imagine
go?
being so familiar with a ghost, an actual ghost in your house.
Yeah.
You go, oh, this is the Poet Society.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm beginning to realise there might be advantages to working from home.
Pete, we have to establish certain
Poor
boundaries,
Tessa Peake
like
Jones.
no hanky-panky
She would
on
get
showers.
scripts in the post, open them, and they'd either be from John Sullivan,
Yeah.
No
the Only Fools and Horses Christmas special that year, or this.
Your feet
Oh, God, I wonder which one it is. Oh.
She'd dream of the bill.
Coughing and coughing. We thought he wouldn't last the war. Hacking and spluttering. Don't make me talk about it.
Do you know what this whole thing reminds me of?
What?
A summer rep at a theatre. Like at a seaside town, market town theatre.
Right.
A touring rep that come and do 8 different shows over the summer.
Yeah.
Noel Coward plays or whatever.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And this is
Joe
one of the
Walton.
ones they do. It's written by one of the cast.
Oh, yeah.
No, I'm not. She's Moses' grandma, my dad says.
You lot should be in lessons. What's keeping you?
Gossips and Mrs.
Oh, that's the... Now we're talking lunchboxes. Those red ones,
Yeah.
or blue or yellow, and they have, like, the chipmunks on the front, or Thomas
Yeah.
the Tank Engine, or Postman Pat.
What did you have?
Would I lie?
Good question. I had Thomas the Tank Blue.
I
What did
had
you?
My
I
Little
could imagine you
Pony.
having...
Oh,
I say
sorry.
we should have guessed. Tried
Yeah.
to guess each other's. I would have had you down
Just
as a
imagine
Fraggle
what I'm
Rock.
thinking. Oh, wow. No, I was
Making a
not cool
nice
enough for
living
Fraggle Rock.
Sweat on my own brow.
You know exactly what I mean, though, don't you? Like, Jim Henson, absolutely not. We're going full
Yeah.
My Little Pony, turquoise with a pink and purple pattern on the sticker,
And the little flask, which had a picture on as well, on the
Yeah.
lid.
And I can't.
which would just
I
be
can
full of water because I
smell-
didn't like anything else.
I can smell opening one of those.
Oh,
I can
the
smell it
squash.
now.
The plume of squash at lunchtime.
The first job is
Disgusting.
always the worst. There's no need to panic. Remember Shakespeare spent a week
Typewriter.
writing Richard IV till he found out there wasn't one. I walk a million miles in one of your styles, oh, Sandy. I'm cracking up.
Then I had my kidney stone.
I'm more interested in Mrs. Feldman's story about her life and her kidney stones than his joke about the jingle.
Talks to himself.
Yeah, and I'm not at all interested in this.
No.
So I was like minus interested in him.
I'm also like, get an iron. Get some steam on that
Poor
thing.
Sam could have taken up 6 pairs of trousers in the time.
Steam.
Steam.
Don't blame
There's no
yourself.
need to be afraid.
Stream. Stream.
No, he doesn't want to be disturbed.
Having an Aldi milkshake. 69p.
Last time, I don't need
Can't argue with
any
those
help, Mrs.
prices.
Feldman.
You crumple paper for a hobby?
Do you fancy a light bite?
I'm drinking full fat Coke, well, I was.
Yeah.
Which I'm not allowed to, as a diabetic, I'm not allowed to have.
Oh, I forgot you're diabetic.
So do I, most nights. I had just been put on this course that's made the papers today.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, about the shakes and soups.
Oh,
I've got to
no, I
start
haven't
it.
heard about that. No.
Right, so it was on the headline news yesterday on the BBC website.
I've just been following
got-
the rights.
Rugby.
Not really.
Well,
Oh, Chris. Hi.
I
The campaign.
have been following the Ozempic stuff where
It's as good as done.
rich people have been taking it to get thin and diabetics are like, I can't get any Ozempic because rich people are buying it to get thin.
I tried that.
Did you?
Or an equivalent, yeah.
Yeah.
It was
Well,
horrible.
Ozempic will be the
You
American
don't want me around.
That's uncanny.
branded
You
brand.
must be psychic.
What happened?
I could have died
It was
laughing.
like you were constantly on the waltzers at a
Oh,
fairground.
that sounds
Honestly,
horrific.
it was awful. And I was on like the introductory dose, and I just constantly felt like I was going to throw up. I was like forever sort of going, oh, hang on.
Oh my
It
God,
was
that sounds awful.
horrible for about a month. And then it was about to go up to like 5 times the dose. And I was like, I'm out, I'm done.
Yeah, absolutely. That does not
Yeah.
sound
Right.
better quality of life than just having diabetes.
Yeah, starting in September, I've got to take. Literally, I'm not allowed to eat food for 12 weeks
Peach is right next to you.
at all.
Oh, I see.
And I'm just going to have shakes, basically Complan.
Well, I can recommend a 69p Aldi shake.
Well, there's special shakes that I get sent in the post.
Prescription shakes.
Prescription shakes, the Ryan Pugh story.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I've got to have that.
Wow.
And soups. And
Yeah.
they said, we send you a trial box, right? The trial box has got 6. 3 soups and 3 shakes.
That's not
That's not.
day, is it?
Come on, it'll help me think. I don't want to see you when I...
No, I'm just sort of more concerned about the flavours.
Yeah.
Like there's a lack of variety there.
Oh,
It's
I
going to be
see.
chocolate, strawberry, banana, isn't it? And it's going to be chicken, I don't know, God knows, seaweed and potato or something in the other.
This he expects to make a living.
I'm amazed at how few soup flavours you could
Remember the dog who
summon
used to play Lassie?
just on the
His mother the other day.
chicken or seaweed.
It took me ages to think of
Seaweed
that.
and potato. Leek and potato.
Yeah. Well, tomato's the obvious one, isn't it?
There are so many. Chicken,
I know, yeah.
sure, but minestrone.
And do you know what's funny as well? I do a lot of soup.
Yeah.
You know,
Heinz.
I take a lot of soup. Heinz.
Do you make your own soups?
No,
We've got to find this
never.
No, well, never. I make soups, but then get sick of them and then end up with them in the freezer, and then they just live there now. That's where they live.
Can I go to tea so I can meet her? Please, I'll ask their mums.
Another BAFTA-winning performance from.
Yeah.
Blah, 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 blah.
Why has he got the sort of the dodgy 90s bus driver glasses as well?
I don't know, because I think you're supposed to find him pathetic.
Sally, I've got a deadline. I need peace and quiet. Well, how about they come tomorrow and we show them the smallest Rottweiler in captivity? I bet the Sarchi
Would we have got that joke if we'd been paying attention? We'll never know.
No. Sally? No. I've got to be firm on this one.
We want
How many years younger
She's usually
than me now do you think she is here?
Oh, how old are you? 39?
Yes.
If there was, my daddy would have one.
I could believe
I
that
don't-
she's like 28, but she's just styled in what we would
don't
think
know,
of as
'cause-
older.
always feel Randy in Shoes by Sandy.
I don't know. It's a good question. It's a really good question. And him.
No?
Is he 40?
Sorry.
No way.
Writer needs peace. It's the only
That's
quiet
so
room in the
depressing
house.
to me.
Mrs.
'Cause I'm watching this thinking he's older.
Yeah, well, this is what I keep realizing is that I still think that people who are 35 are older than me
We know
by
what we
a
have
substantial
to
amount. What?
Find out how old the ghost is, the actress.
Oh God, she's probably like 39.
44.
Yeah.
Parents all know. Great! I told you, Sally.
You need me again, don't you?
Again? Well, you don't need me, do you?
For what I've got in mind, certainly we need you.
Oh, look at that little fuzzy line at the bottom of the.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the dog.
No,
Look at that little fuzzy lion.
no, the fuzzy line along the bottom of the screen.
Yes.
The classic sort of video.
Taped off telly.
Here's something you don't see anymore. Are these slices of bread and butter in the middle of the table? Look,
Looks like it, yeah.
just to give the meal life.
I'm sure I saw something recently where the meal that the family in the TV show were having was just a gigantic plate of pasta, and they all just had massive wedges of white bread and butter along with it. I'm just like, do you know what? In a famous British supermarket, they have a deal on pizza and a bread,
Oh yes.
and
yeah.
I'm like, that's just bread twice. And as
Double bread.
an ally of diabetics, I'm very concerned about the side for a big bit of bread with cheese on it being a big bit of bread with cheese on it.
And the drink is probably a Coke or an appetizer.
Yeah, or a bottle of wine.
And dessert is bread sauce. No, bread.
Bread sauce. Just a bowl of bread sauce with a spoon sprinkled with croutons.
Bread pudding, I meant, but you could have bread sauce as well.
Well, you put that on the
Bready.
pudding.
Yeah.
An empty mouth is an unhappy mouth.
Can they see her?
Now do you believe in David's
He
ghost?
can, can't he, the little kid?
So
Yeah.
let them tell their parents. They'll just think it's the Ropies doing party tricks.
Well, this is quite clever, actually.
Is it?
Clean your plates. Have seconds.
Sounds like seems to me like the first thing they thought of. The writer thought of. Is that a Victoria sponge with bread and butter?
It's like a children's afternoon tea.
I went to a restaurant when I was about 4, and it's such a haunted nothing memory. But it's stuck with me because a man in there asked for bread and butter for his angel delight. One, why was he getting angel delight in a restaurant? But two,
Why is a
mopping
restaurant
up.
making that available?
Restaurant is a fancy word. It was a calf.
Yeah,
but it was,
right.
Yeah, it was a bowl of strawberry angel delight.
With bread and butter.
Bread and butter.
That is
And the young
Twisted.
me reserved that memory, kept it.
So, how do you like your new house?
Oh, here we go.
Who are these people?
Like it?
I'd love it. It's probably worth about £1 million now, you ungrateful little teenager.
I didn't know Sparks were in this.
I can't think of any Spark songs. What's the famous Spark song?
This town ain't big enough for the ghost of us.
Ding, 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 ding. Being played on a rib cage of a skeleton. Ding, 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 ding.
Hi.
Right, I better listen to this.
Oh, right. Sorry. We were just trying to drive him around the twist with all this ghost rubbish. You've all got mad parent disease. I hate you. Tammy.
Get out.
Sorry, she's just
Yeah.
going through a stage.
Stage? It's the Palladium. Please, excuse the mess. The decorators have just left for the day. Take your coats off.
You can take your coat off later if you don't mind.
Yeah, we'll have sex at some point because we're married and all we can do is have sex interrupted by the fact that we've decided to have children.
We were just,
We always had to hire Uncle Benji for our kids' parties. Cost a fortune.
well,
Who are
we're
these
available
people?
most weekends. Weddings, bar mitzvahs,
Don't know.
refreshments.
Insurance?
Mr. Sandy's coming over to me for dinner. I thought this would save you a trek out, as you've already cracked it.
Oh,
They're the ones that have been,
You and me
employed him to
yeah.
do the
both.
shoes.
But first, hey, let me get you a drink. Oh, Scotch, please.
On the rocks. Same.
Ah, No rocks. I'll be right back. Put your feet up.
What are they doing here?
What's that my idea?
Well, they're too early. You'll just have to tell them the truth.
The truth?
Calm down.
I'm in advertising. Anyway, I told Chris I'd cracked it.
You just pour whiskey into a toilet roll.
Try the fridge. Why did you say you'd cracked it?
I don't know, why should this happen to me? I'm a decent bloke. I never hurt anybody, though that could change.
Is she just putting out
Come on, Mrs. Feldman.
gumballs or
You're so
something?
proud. A ghost in the hand is worth 2 car phones
Ice.
and Volvo. You should see his
Ah.
face.
What about my little face? I'll never be able to show it again.
I better go to Tammy. She's not happy.
The phone?
Doesn't look good, Pete.
Here we go.
Nibbles. You
Yeah.
don't, that's such a 90s thing, isn't
Yeah.
it? Come around for nibbles.
Just nuts and crisps.
Shoot.
I hate the phrase finger food.
Sandy, how quickly
Yeah.
It makes me sort of shudder. I think of people's fingers.
Yeah.
I expect
Well,
you
like,
to use a word processor.
A finger buffet.
Yeah, like.
Yes, but
Just call it a buffet. I know fingers are involved. I don't need it to be.
Yeah, but you're
kind of
also
hammered
standing
home.
on your feet when you go to the buffet table. You don't call it a foot
So much she wants to
food.
keep them to itself. Tell a lie, it comes back to haunt you.
oh, God!
A spine buffet.
Oh, God knows what I'm going to do with it.
What make is it? I can usually sort them out.
Oh, you wouldn't know this one.
Deeper and deeper, it must be the drink.
It's a Feldman. It's a Polish make. Very old, ugly thing. Noisy. I must get shot of it.
You'll die
Oh,
Oh,
I
oh,
think
oh.
it might be the vertical hold.
What's with the shoes?
That was a really,
Inflation.
like-
You won't actually get rid of them?
Controversial use of a swear word there. They had to edit out.
I could do the
oh, maybe,
window
yeah.
banging. Ghostly hoovering.
No! No, there's no need to wallpaper the ceiling.
Do you know who used to dress like him in his heyday? Nicky Campbell.
Sally.
That's who I've been thinking of this whole time, and I don't even really
Yeah.
know. I can't really place what he's in. What's he in?
Yeah, well, he used to present Top of the Pops and
Oh,
present
that's it.
Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah.
Could be anywhere.
And was
And
a
had that
radio
haircut,
one.
but a bit blonder.
Yeah.
Sally, what are you doing?
This door's too tight. I thought I'd plane it. Calm me down.
Now, I'm the one who needs calming down, Sally. Mrs. Feldman is downstairs with Chris and Mr. Sandy.
I thought it was quiet up here. Tammy's barricaded herself in a bedroom with the phone.
Oh, well, let's hope her mates cheer her up.
Especially the one who's moved to New Zealand.
I'll pull it out at the wall.
Sally, I'm ruined. Can you call up Mrs. Feldman?
I couldn't take another varicose vein story.
Please, just get her away from them.
Mrs. Feldman, what about Sandy's shoes?
Sally, this is getting unhealthy.
Mrs. Feldman, what are they saying downstairs?
You think I listen?
Yes.
Well, the man with the feet who plays with shoes, he thinks maybe you don't have an idea.
What a cheek!
Sally, I don't.
Well, no, but you will have.
In 2 minutes? All right, quiet, everybody, let's think.
Listen, when my poor Sam died, I had to find work.
Mrs. Feldman, is this a long story?
It's longer if you interrupt. I was a sales lady for women's wear, and what a sales lady. A woman comes in for directions, she leaves with a full summer outfit. And then I saw a gap in the market. So with the money my poor Sam left me, I opened a shop for outsized clothes. I even had a slogan, big girls look better in a dress from Yetta.
Mrs. Feldman, what has this got to do with Pete's problem?
Nothing. We have to discuss his problems all night.
I don't believe this. I'm just going to have to confess.
He's a Catholic.
There goes my career. Ha! What career?
Daddy, Daddy!
Shh, Davy, Daddy's panicking.
But Tammy's on the radio.
No, she's on the phone.
Listen, listen.
Hello, Rick. I've got a problem for Emma.
Sally!
Wait.
Your daughter talks to strangers?
Shh.
So why don't you tell us about your problem, Tammy?
Well, it's my parents. They're the problem. They drive me insane. Pretending we've got this pathetic ghost in the house.
I'll give her pathetic.
What makes the ghost pathetic? I find the ways,
No,
the
it's
words they're
awful.
giving her are so strange.
Yeah.
Well, this dustbin, oh, this morgue. Those things are not interchangeable.
Improve your sex
Yeah.
life.
Pete,
This old cushion.
Yeah. This fart in a can.
Tell me that, eh? Well, I'm sure you're as bad as they are.
Well, thank you, Tammy, for
back.
No, you won't.
They're always on these things. Whenever anyone's on the radio,
Talk on the radio.
everyone's listening to the radio at that moment,
Yeah.
aren't they?
Well, I hope you're satisfied, Mrs. Feldman.
It's my
Do you remember in Friends where Ross rings up the radio to apologise to Rachel?
Yes.
And he rings Monica and says, put the radio on.
Yeah.
And they put it on at the exact moment the DJ says, oh, here's Ross.
Yeah,
from
yeah,
so-and-so."
yeah. Monica, for the only time that ever happens in Friends, goes, music?
Yeah.
She's like, they never listen to music.
Yeah, and Rachel's like, yeah, sure, let's have some music.
Sorry, gents. Can I get you something? A brogue, a slingback?
Look, we really can't stay too long, Peter. Any joy?
I'm afraid it's the Feldman. Technology? Ha! I'll just have to drop those great scripts around later on, eh? I'll be better off with an old typewriter.
Yes, but the idea. You must remember the idea.
Oh, the idea? Of course I remember the idea.
On the head!
You don't forget an idea like
What?
that one in a hurry.
Get on the head! This whole... Just say, oh, sorry, I haven't got one.
Yeah.
Have I got an idea for you? I sound like Mrs.
Or why don't they say,
Well-
oh, you clearly haven't got anything. Sorry to have imposed ourselves like this. It's a bit unprofessional.
Yeah. You've got until
Or
next
see-
week, and if
Yeah.
not, then we'll move on to somebody else.
We'll find someone else, yeah.
Yeah.
You're clearly mentally
Bare your
disturbed,
soul to Sandy
and your
Shoes.
daughter is really weird.
Yeah.
So
And
we'll
you're,
leave now.
yeah.
I'm looking for Mr. Right. And Mr. Left to go with it.
And you're a gigantic ham.
Don't they, Chris?
Research.
Do you reckon Nicky Campbell ever watched this and was like, he's nicking my my
Shtick,
thing?
yeah.
Yeah.
Hang on a minute. That waistcoats and puffy full shirts is my thing.
Well, leave to it then.
Better give a Feldman a good hammering, eh?
Now, there's an
Businessmen
idea.
in suits on BBC sitcoms with briefcases. Again, this is like, it is dying out in this era, isn't it? It hasn't got long left.
Sandy, I'm a bit of a heel from Haringey, eh?
Yeah, this is closer to like a boss coming round for dinner and I Dream of Jeannie than it is to like
Yeah, the vicar coming around.
Yeah.
There is a garden.
Yeah, that and the royal family, for instance, or the office. The royal family was stunning when it came out, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That was like, oh my god, that's
It
like
was-
a Ken Loach film.
Yeah.
It's made a few things go up in the air.
Compared to this,
Mr. Plot.
you had been raised on this and you see the royal family, and it's
Yeah.
in real time, half an hour.
See?
That's the thing I think never gets mentioned enough about
Yeah,
it.
yes, you're right. Like you actually spend half an hour with that family.
Yeah.
We weren't pretending. And we're not trying to drive you insane.
You really think that makes
It was always funny in the royal family where they'd have a scene in the kitchen. Like Ralph Little would be in there, like talking to
Yeah,
his
making
mate
a tea or
about
whatever.
yeah, about a girl he likes.
What a set. What a set
Incredible.
that is. The two best sets I've ever seen in British television are the Royal Family and Darling Buds of May. The inside of their house is a studio set, and
Yeah.
it's so hyper-realistic. The light and everything. The light in the Royal Family, when they open the curtains and it's
Yeah.
the street lights outside, it's unbelievable.
Yeah. I'd need to
Nailed
remind
it.
myself, reacquaint myself with the Darling Buds of May.
Helping David, terrifying
It's just worth
Karen.
looking at for how good the set is.
Yeah. Well, with Royal Family, you feel very much
So long as you
like
know your
they're
mother
on a
loves
street
you.
and that they're very close to the
Yeah.
everyone else that's kind of around.
And you could draw the street.
Yeah.
Like you could have a good guess at what that street looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's brilliant. Unbelievable. I'm so glad we paid almost no attention to that.
Yeah.
And I feel like I lost nothing.
No,
and
I've
gained a little something.
I've gained a lot more this episode from us talking more over the show. I can't speak at all, but not about the show, about other
Where's
shows that we like.
Where's Richard Wilson? Where is he? Where is he?
Come on, mate.
Oh, we might have missed it.
Oh, we missed him. Or maybe he
He's been shafted.
was fired. Oh, no, it's,
Stop.
you
Whoa.
wait there.
No spoilers. No
Wait
spoilers.
there.
I still find it weird that there's a big T there, which suggests that
Yeah.
tea is important, but it's not
No, it's not.
at all.
No, it's just the
So
shape of the
horny.
window.
I keep waiting for it to jog a memory, and it doesn't.
No, this is like watching something that was on Australian TV.
Yeah.
Like this will be interesting because I've got no cultural context for it whatsoever,
There was a real
other than
like,
her being in Only Fools and Horses.
There was a real tradition of sitcoms when they sort of started losing their impetus here, going to Australia. Like there's a Hancock Down Under. I'm pretty sure there's a Till Death Us Do Part in Australia.
Is there?
There's a few that kind of, yeah.
Till Death Do Us Part, the American version was really successful, as was the American version of Sanford and Son.
What's Sanford and Son? Do you mean Steptoe and Son?
Oh, it's Sanford and Son in America.
Oh, I see, right.
They changed the name for some reason.
Never heard of that.
Yeah. I mean, it ran for like
one.
three series or something, but that was,
Right.
I mean, when you're making 20 episodes a series, that's quite a lot. But yeah, but Sanford and Son were a black father and son, which is talked about as like, that's the way, you know, that whole thing about like,
yes.
we do class and they do race.
Yeah, that's interesting.
But they're also poor because they're still rag and bone men. What do you call it?
Yeah, that's it, rag and bone men.
Right,
but
yeah.
I guess they don't have those in America. What are they, just like second-hand traders, or like a bit like Fools and Horses?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, entrepreneurs is probably how they'd be described. Donald Trump.
The Till Death Us Do Part, what's that called? Is it All in the Family or something?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. I get really mixed up with which one's which because
there's a really famous episode, isn't there, where that's had like ridiculous viewing figures. I can't think. I think it might have had
of All in the Family.
Someone famous in it. So I don't know, God, but I know what that bloke looks like in it.
Oh, right.
I've seen it on. You know, I'm not showing off. I'm just.
Or showing your age
saying,
and the fact that you're secretly an American and grew up watching that show.
But yes, I know of it because I've seen it on documentaries and things. So Haunt Me. So there's 3 left. It doesn't seem to have a
structure
and
impetus, but
script,
rewrite
idea process, but it doesn't seem to have an arc, and that is something that possibly
season 2
The Office and the Royal Family and stuff started introducing, not necessarily for the good. It was good for those 2 programs because they were, I would say, world class.
Yeah.
But actually, the imitation of them, I'd say, has hurt British sitcom. I wouldn't mind more things like So Haunt Me. So Haunt Me is a really bad example of how bad this genre can be.
Yeah.
And probably gets dug up as a reason why they stopped doing this kind of stuff. But I have a feeling that were we to watch... I mean, well, we know there are better things that do what this is trying to do.
Yeah.
I'm thinking Thin Blue Line, Vicar of Dibley.
Thin Blue Line. I was thinking yesterday about the 4 greatest words, or a line of the greatest line in British sitcom being only 4 words long. Can you tell me what that line is? Oh, you can't say it because it's rude.
Yeah, is it?
Yeah.
Your something, my something.
Yeah.
It's brilliant. It's so good.
It's so good. It's perfect.
There's so many of those are so funny, weren't they?
Yeah,
like
he's so brilliant in that as well. The guy who plays Bernard in 4 Weddings.
Yeah, incredible. My sister went to see him play George III in The Madness of King George and said he was unbelievable.
I bet he'd be fantastic. Like the way he plays straight in the Thin Blue Line. I could imagine that being incredibly powerful in Shakespearean acting or any kind of acting because he's so straight and so committed, but he's also saying something really hilarious. It just happens to be hilarious.
He's another one that would have, if he was playing the chap in this that we've just watched, would have
been so good. Yeah.
It's a different proposition. But I can't stop watching this through the eyes of imagining it's Rowan Atkinson and how he'd deliver those things and how much funnier it would all be.
Yeah.
But going back to that arc thing, this doesn't have one. And you and I grew up sort of expecting that.
Yeah.
Didn't we? It was the classic sort of what do you call it, status quo. Next week you don't expect it to have a knock-on effect.
Yeah.
So what were the first sitcoms you watched or enjoyed? Let's take Friends as read, that had a pull where you wanted to keep seeing what was happening. Did you have any that sort of caught you like that?
Any British ones or just any?
Yeah, just any. But I guess British, but it doesn't really matter. But Friends is an obvious one, isn't it?
Yeah, and Frasier. So the end of Frasier for me was when Daphne and Niles finally like each other. Everything after that is a disaster. Them as a couple.
Yeah.
It just.
What, did they go Did they get together?
Yeah, it was like a Ross and Rachel kind of situation where obviously Niles fancied Daphne for years. And then finally she finds out and she's like, oh, Dr. Crane. On Gogglebox today.
Dr. Crane.
Oh, Dr. Crane, I'm from Manchester.
Ooh,
no, that wasn't her accent, was it? No, she's supposed to. No, she had a Manc accent, but she was supposed to be from Liverpool. Is that right?
Was she?
Yeah, she was supposed to be from. And then when her brother turns up, he's got a ferociously Cockney accent.
Yeah, and supports Man United.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go watch Man United in a minute.
Yeah, that's right. When we grew up in Liverpool. Oh, that's right. Bayek, we grew up right in Liverpool. And
I thought you were talking about Niles, not Niles and Daphne, but Frasier and Roz. Because what had happened is when you were talking, you might have seen me sort of make some gestures.
Yeah.
Someone had turned up at my window. I was trying to get my attention in front of me, and I was trying to tell them to go away. And then I wasn't hearing what you were saying.
Oh,
so
okay.
I wasn't having a minor breakdown. If you rewatch the footage, I was. Yeah.
I mean, it didn't slow me down at all. I just carried on as if you'd not done this at me. I was like, if it's that bad, we'll just edit the record. Who was it?
Niles,
was they selling something?
No, it's my partner. She's still there. Go away. Oh my God, I can't. She's so.
Has she got the
clear
dog?
With her all day that she can't do this, and she's doing it. It's really annoying.
It's my partner. Go away.
It's just maddening.
Yeah.
Like, what can I do? I can't stop this and leave you. It's the one time I can't do anything.
Does she not have a key? This is getting too personal.
She's got the key and the secret, but my key is in the door.
He's got the key.
Who's my key? Yeah, so Niles and Daphne, when they got together, it's game over. I'm not interested.
Yeah, exactly. When the couple that you don't know if they're going to get together or not, or the pining half of a couple, their pining is revealed and it's received positively. That's all you want to see. That's the satisfaction of the arc. But yeah, I don't remember a lot of. I mean, obviously there was coupling, but that was obviously a Friends based.
I never watched that. That would be a good one to watch.
I didn't watch it that much. Yeah, it was. Yeah,
2 pints of lager as well.
Yeah.
I never watched that. I just had a sixth sense that it was terrible. It might not be.
I watched it a bit. Like it was. I can't remember anything about it. It wasn't bad. It just wasn't. It didn't grab me. But then
it was very
famously,
BBC
I hate
Three,
people.
wasn't it?
Yeah. It was like this
famously,
is for young
you hate what?
Northerners. No, but I think it was like boomer humour, but aimed at BBC Three audience, which I felt was a bit of a disconnect for me.
I imagine it was like a sort of watered down men behaving badly for the new generation.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what it was. Yeah.
Come on, mate. Get over it. Yeah. Come for a drink.
Yeah. Oh, I can't watch the match tonight. I promised Sally
we'd. Match.
Yeah. I promised Sally that we'd do something gay.
Sally.
I promised Sally we'd do something really gay. Oh, don't do that. Come on.
Oh, look at her.
Yeah.
Pure Nuts magazine, but with the nuts covered. It's called Cuts or something because they can't put the logo on it.
Yeah, they've got one letter removed.
Yeah.
Nats.
A Nuts magazine calendar, but on the door and that kind of thing.
Yeah, but with like extra big boobs drawn on the woman.
Do not talk to me about last night.
Why not? Because I can't remember.
Mate, you were beyond bladdered. Laugh at that, like a little studio laugh. I always lose count of, I lost count of how many drinks I had. Well, let me tell you, mate, you had more than I did, okay?
Do you remember the one you had out of a shoe? I've just been watching Line of Duty, and Neil Morrissey's in that.
Lion of Duty?
That little lion at the bottom of the screen of Duty. And
imagine a program called Lion of Duty.
This just sounds really patriotic. It sounds like a big gold lion outside of Buckingham Palace with a gun.
But the person who writes it has never heard of Line of Duty, and he's written this really powerful thing. And he
about corrupt lions.
Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, sorry, you were watching Lion of Duty.
I was watching Neil Morrissey in Line of Duty, and it's just a serious show, and it just was strange to see him in such a different context. But he also it's a show that was made in the last 5 years or something, so
it's not made for that. Oh,
yeah,
come on, Gary,
come on, mate.
Oh, let's go to the boozer.
I'm dangerously incapable of looking after myself. Can't get a girlfriend.
Come on, mate.
Just take this massive bribe off a local gangster.
I'm learning the guitar to impress Debbie.
Debbie. Aren't you better off starting? Aren't you better? I don't even know.
I've got a can of Coke stuck in my jean pocket.
Oh, now it's in me bum.
The toothbrush is on fire. I left that in my sock. Bloody Nora.
Open the fridge and it's just Holston pills and like a pair of underpants.
Breakfast, mate. Wouldn't say no, mate. Open the fridge. Yeah. Laughed. Yeah.
What are these doing in here? Oh, nice. It's really hot out. Just puts the cold underpants that have been in the fridge on.
Mini fridge by the sofa.
Yeah.
Don't get up, mate. The match. They talk about the match being on. Neither of them ever mention having Sky, and there's no matches that were on.
No.
Without Sky. Oh, come on, mate. The big match is on. Oh, it can't possibly be.
Can't be, because we can't afford Sky.
Yeah.
And we can't afford to go to the pub either, so let's just listen to the radio and drink 6 Holston pills each from each of our respective fridges on either side of the sofa.
Oh dear. Oh, no.
What was Neil? Was Neil Morrissey?
Tony.
Yeah, Tony.
Tony and Gary.
Tone. There's someone in Line of Duty called Tony. Tone. And then
and Gary was so much more sort of like that when he.
He thought he was a bit cooler.
On, mate.
Whereas.
And he had a job. He had a job in the. I loved the people he worked with. Do you remember the old couple, the old woman who had the cardigans, and the old boy? I used to love that little sort of dynamic.
He was sort of like a.
It was a very 90s man.
Yeah, like a post yuppie.
Yeah, exactly.
Like he still wore a grey suit and a tie, but he made fuck all.
He made very little money.
Very little money indeed. Which is really quite a good representation of the economic decline from the 80s into the 90s, or at least for that class of man, for that class of professional man.
I always wonder with this kind of stuff, because you can pick to pieces like that, couldn't you? You could really, really go to town on men behaving badly.
Yeah.
And I just wonder, I think Simon Nye, who wrote it, is that going through his mind at any point?
No, he's just talking about a zeitgeisty kind of character that people recognise, but
that
you can chart
or...
that. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, that people have to know, otherwise it wouldn't resonate.
I do feel like you can tell with programmes more often than not when it's like, oh, that is a point that's being made. Again, I'm thinking of Staff Lets Flats. Like the first series of that, there was so many scenes where there would be someone on their knees who couldn't afford the flat he was showing them because it was a ridiculous, horrible flat, and he wanted a fortune for it. They're like, I can't afford this. And there was a point that was being made there, and that felt really obvious. And other times, like Men Behaving Badly, you feel like it's just like riding a wave of some sort, and then you can look back at it and sort of go, oh, this. Men Behaving Badly is a fascinating piece of work. Again, like British Empire, was huge. And I remember the final Christmas episodes of that, and I think it was 97, or maybe the year later, were like event television. It had like 15 or 20 million viewers for them.
Yeah, it was huge.
And it's just vanished, and it's occasionally on Gold, but it's not... I think the mark of a super sitcom, in terms of like its popularity, is if BBC One or BBC Two show it regularly, like Dad's Army. They'll occasionally show all of Fools and Horses again, even if it's just in the afternoon or something.
Yeah.
But it's really hard to imagine them putting an episode of Men Behaving Badly on.
I think I think that's probably a conscious choice because it's so...
Oh, it's probably got things in it that
horribly misogynistic. Like, I know,
Yeah.
obviously, that's there's a thing of like, they say a misogynistic thing and you're supposed to laugh at them for saying a misogynistic thing, but it also encourages the reinforcement of the thing that's misogynistic in some ways. Like, it does both. Like, obviously, irony exists, so we understand that we're not supposed to kind of aspirationally agree with them about what they're saying, but whilst we're laughing at them, we're also doing the pleasure that we're there to watch a comedy show for.
That was a similar thing when the League of Gentlemen did their comeback in 2018.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of people suddenly saying, oh, it's a bit, but yeah, you've kind of explained it perfectly, because I always had an issue with that, thinking actually that undermines the audience of the year 2000.
Totally.
That's assuming they had no grasp of irony. And the joke then was it was shocking.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, oh, this is what we do. We dress up as women and we make a mockery of this, this, and this.
Yeah.
Actually, the idea was when it happened, it was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
That was what they were going for. So to sort of assume that 20 years later, everyone was just laughed at that kind of thing all the time and had no.
Yeah. And also,
knowing
different
sort of
audiences
sense.
respond different ways. The BBC did some research about what was the Alf Garnett show? Was that Rising Damp?
Alf Garnett is Till Death Us Do Part.
Oh, yeah, of course. So they did research about people's responses to the racial jokes in Till Death Do Us Part, Till Death Do Us Part, which is looking at Alf Garnett and then looking at like the younger people with different politics, and there's a black character and these kinds of things. And the argument is that, well, we were always supposed to laugh at Alf Garnett's outdated views, but also are we laughing with him? And so the BBC conducted some research, and they said that it completely, depending on whether or not you already believed the similar things as Alf Garnett, you would continue to believe them. And if you thought that you were meant to laugh at him, you would laugh at him. So it was kind of a win-win situation, which is very similar to the kind of Al Murray pub landlord stuff, is that...
God, yeah.
Is that... You know, we think of it as a very kind of binary opposition, or whether you get the joke or not. But then surely there's like, I get the joke and it's a bit naughty to laugh at it, but it's quite indulgent as well. But also there's the kind of point and laugh thing where you assume that because you're laughing at Al Murray's misogyny or whatever, then you're laughing at all misogynists, or you're laughing at all kind of backwards thinking people. And it's just more complicated than that. Because I wrote my whole master's dissertation on how Anchorman reinvigorated a lot of the sort of misogynistic language that's used in it, ironically, because it's the 1970s. And I would hear people say, you know, telling me to get back in the kitchen and go and make a sandwich. And I was like, well, this is deeply problematic. But I also found it very funny the way that they were misogynistic, because they were such pathetic characters. But also you are there to laugh. So if you are laughing at the men and not the women, then it's the men who have the comic agency and not the women in the show or film.
Yeah, so we should explain, just before we end, we're going to have to end in a second, aren't we? I should just explain as well, I'm not misogynistic telling my girlfriend to go away when she came to the window. I think I acted tastily recently, having given very clear messages not to come to the window.
No.
Anyway, but no, you are a doctor of comedy.
Yeah. I also want to explore it sounds like coming to the window is the way that she announces herself when she comes round yours. It's like, today is not the day to come to the window.
Like in Clarissa Explains It All.
Yeah. Or
That's
in, yeah. Over the ladder.
Comes to the window. I'd locked the door and shut the curtains on one window, and there was just one window left, and I'm on the ground floor.
Yeah.
She's not a ghost flying around as well.
Oh, she's not Mrs. Feldman.
No, she's not.
That would have been a great surprise. Much more interesting the fact that I've got a PhD in comedy.
Yeah. But I like the fact you're a doctor of comedy.
I know. I like to say Erica Horton, BA, MA, PhD, LOL. Joke gets funnier every time I tell it. It's not really a joke. But yeah, my PhD was specifically on British television comedy, which sounds like a gas, but it was actually a lot of incredibly dry broadcasting legislation. But if you want to know about different changing definitions of diversity in British public service television.
Who doesn't?
Well, based on how many times my dissertation's been read, not very many people. I have no idea how many times my dissertation's been read. Probably twice.
You and then the person who marked it.
Well, not me. The two people that marked it. Yeah.
I reckon the one person marked it said, that's all right. And then everyone skim read it.
Yeah. That's almost exactly what happened. They were like, why are there so many typos? And I was like, I didn't really proofread it before I handed it in. They were like, okay, well, just do that. And then you can have a PhD. And I was like, okay, thanks. And one of the, yeah, exactly. Next, can we go get ice cream now? We went by examiners. It always sounds rank when you talk about your Viva because you have Viva. It's like your defense of your PhD. So you have two.
Viva forever.
Please, not a Viva
waiting.
forever. You have an internal examiner and an external examiner, which refers to whether or not they're internal in your institution where you're studying or external from your institution. But it sounds more kind of like a cavity search, I think.
Everybody get up singing, dum dum, dum dum. Viva make you get down now.
Much better. Took a moment, but you got to a much funnier thing.
A Viva kicking.
What's
that? Was good.
Alive and Kicking.
Alive and Kicking.
I don't know that song.
Simple Minds.
No.
Da, 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 alive and kicking. Do you not know that? That was the music that accompanied Guy's Premiership coverage in 1992-93.
Right.
And on that note.
Oh, I just had one.
Go on.
Are you familiar with Henry Rollins?
Henry Roll and Roll and Roll. No, I'm not.
Okay. Well, he has a song called Liar, and the chorus, he's just screaming, I'm a liar. So he could scream, I'm a Viva. Should have stopped at a Viva and Kicking. All right, well, let's wrap it up. It's been our liveliest episode so far. So hopefully, episode 4 will be even livelier.
I'm going to go and get some insurance protection from Aviva.
Yeah, and apologise to your girlfriend for telling her to go away from the window. The window.
Go away.
I'm a misogynist. Go away.
We're trying to talk about misogyny here.
Yeah. Woman. Good. Excellent. Well, I shall stop recording. It's been lovely.
Yes.
I've really enjoyed this one.
Me
the
too.
The other two were awful.
Yeah, but the people who aren't going to watch any of these are really missing out on this one.
But it's also, once you get to 3, you've got to go back to 1 to see our prediction about where. Don't slam the door.
And it was done in that way. That's
perfect.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Right. See you soon.
And on.
See you later. Stay on. Oh.
Go on.
No, I was going to say stay online.
Oh, all right. I'll stay online, but we're going to leave the listeners behind, the listening several. Bye-bye for now.